Welcome to another episode of All Thoughts, No Thirst. I'm your host and entertainment for the evening. Um, just a quick recap: the NBA playoffs are in full swing. No big surprises. Some big surprises. Boston just shit down their leg for the second night straight. It's almost like they content winning a championship, so it's like we'll just coast through the playoffs. The Knicks look hungry. The Pacers are impressive right now. Really looking forward to seeing them come out of this series. That solidifies Tyrese Halliburton's legacy to me as a superstar, as a mega star. More so than a superstar because of um, he's just got to keep winning big games and big moments. So yeah, that's the sports talk. Really didn't have anything in mind to talk about tonight. I was just kind of thinking about some stuff, and I had like so many different thoughts. You know, I just I've been kind of wrestling with what my subject matter should be versus just kind of keeping it loose and just laughing and joking and or just talking about stuff that I think is interesting. And the world provides us with enough comedy that sometimes we can get lost in the commentary and forget about the real issues. Like if you get a chance, look up those cops that were acquitted for the basic murder of Tyree Nichols. That's a terrible situation, and it's stuff like that that it reinforces the state we live in almost, where you know a misunderstanding can be lead to your last few moments on Earth. Um, there was no real valid reason for them to behave the way they did, yet they did, and the fact that it was black men doing it to another black man is more disheartening than anything else because it's like we as people of color should speak the same language. And that goes without even using words to a point like black man to black man, black woman to black woman to black man, people to people. Where's the humanity? What did this man do that was so bad that y'all beat him like that? Now, if he was, putting their lives in danger, threatening them, sure, sure, that's an accurate. That's a subject appropriate response. But he was suspiciously driving. I at 41, I grew up in the 80s, 90s era. I've seen beatings come from many different ways, especially growing up in a black household in the middle class. That's one thing you know, uh, we didn't get a chance to do was we didn't get a lot of leeway. We got told once, maybe twice, and then you was getting what was coming to you. Um, and I don't think our parents fully understood the power, the amount of damage that they caused wielding power like that. But I'm also a firm believer in discipline creates uh discipline creates it creates structure, right? And I say that to say that if those police officers are an a if they're a representation of how police feel about citizens, what is going on in the world today? Like, what are we doing? What's the point? Like, y'all just beating the stuffings out of folks for what? For just you didn't like the way he answered your question, so I'm gonna break his jaw. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is absurd. But that's the time we live in, and I feel bad because it's like as a person of color now, you know, I don't have to worry about. I used to feel like I don't have to worry about an officer of the law who look like me, or I could identify. They could. We could. We had something in common. We had a common thread. Hey, we both black. Let's not make this crazier than it need to be. Give me my ticket. I go on by my business. But to see that, I remember when it happened. My thoughts was, did he what did he do to make y'all this mad? Like, and like I said, being the age I am, I've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen the fights in the club, or we've seen the baby daddy, baby mama scuffles. We've seen all of this stuff. So, once you hit a certain age, somebody taking a beating is it's like, well, either he kind of had that they had that coming, or was that really necessary? You know. Um and if you grew up in any type of family setting, your sister might have called you like, my boyfriend over here tripping, this, that, and the third. So you go over there and y'all rough dude up just for them to show up at the family gathering 2 days later. He looking at y'all looking at him, she looking at the ground. The worst, or you know, violence has no place in diplomacy, because I feel like when things become violent, that means our ability to diplomatically resolve a situation has failed. Now, I'm not saying let somebody put their hands on you, none of that, but like, if you in a position of authority and your go-to is anger and violence, you really need to be evaluated for mental health, because I see it all the time where people get a taste of power and the first thing they want to do is oppress somebody. And it's weird. Why is that? Like, that's something I've always wanted to know. If y'all know anything about it, message me, hit the comments, help me understand, cuz like, what are we doing? Like, why are we so angry with one another all the time? Um yeah, and it like trickles into relationships where people jump to the negative like negative first thinking. When do we get there? Because it's like, like, I can get a haircut, right? You get a haircut, you're feeling good, the sun's shining, all of that. You might not you're not gonna get a compliment. You're gonna get an insult. That's the compliment. So if you come home with a haircut and your girl, like, she's not gonna say, "Oh, you look handsome," or she might say you look handsome. Or if you post a picture on your Snap and then you see her, she ain't gonna say you look handsome. She gonna say, "You, sir, are putting on for these women," and I'm putting that nicely, because you know what she gonna say. You showing out, and I think that's hilarious, because why is that? Why can't we be greeted with a compliment? And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm kind of like holding myself accountable, because like I've never given a straight compliment. It's always if I see a lady and her hair look nice, like, okay, ponytail, it's like, dang, I could just say, I like your hair. Uh why do we do that? What is that? And I think in our culture, we're fun. We're funny people. We're unserious people, actually, because nothing is serious. Nothing is really, things are sacred, but they're not serious. Like, I don't know what it is about prayer that makes me laugh. So my sister, I'm sorry I gotta tell on you, but my sister, my oldest sister, if we make eye contact before or during a prayer, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It is a wrap, and nothing is said. It's just funny, and I don't know why. Um, Another one, funerals. I don't know why people are crying. This is the worst day of somebody's life, and all I could think is like, wow, I really need to laugh, but nothing is funny, and I don't understand why I feel the need to laugh or behave so inappropriately at this moment. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for your loss. And then I look down and I might see somebody got on low cut dress socks. Gone, done, done, done. I done called the man Reverend Ankles, all kind of stuff. And it's like, or you got, and we all grieve differently, but like I said, we are unserious people. So the people who cry the hardest and loudest at black funerals, yes, y'all, you know who I'm talking to. What do y'all be thinking? Like, what's your thought process? Like, if I pass out, will that stop this? Because for me, I'm seeing this like this expression overflow of emotion, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this is crazy. Why are you doing all this? Because let me tell you, if somebody is cutting up at a funeral and that person in the casket sit up and say something like, "That's about enough. Come on, that's enough." I would first be shocked, scared, probably lose the color in my face, and then immediately after that, I'm gonna start laughing because I'm unserious. Like, uh, what's another serious time? Oh, family meetings. Oh my god, I feel bad for my dad because if he ever got us all together in the same room and had to talk to us, he's not getting nothing accomplished because three of us. It's me and my two sisters. If one of us makes eye contact across the table, done, 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 done deal. Like it is, and it could be the most serious discussion. Like, this is what I'm expecting y'all to do when I'm no longer here. And I guarantee it's gonna be my sister, my oldest sister, gonna laugh first, and I'm gonna hold it together until her and my younger sister fall apart. Then I'm gonna join the fray. See, the key is you never want to laugh first, and you don't want to laugh loud because things happen when people laugh loud. Um, the loud laugh tells everybody something happened, but it also puts a spotlight that you know exactly what's going on. So yeah, I'm not sure where did that come from. This is something I want to look into is why things are funny. Um, Another unserious thing we do is we give nicknames. Like everybody has a nickname for somebody, and it has nothing to do with them, but it's always an event. For example, you can show up somewhere and it could be a chance of a thunderstorm, cloudy, might have been raining. You show up with an umbrella, prepared, prepared. That's another one. They're gonna make fun of you for being prepared. You show up with your umbrella, here they go. Oh, here comes Mary Poppins. If it's a woman, they're gonna call you Mary Poppins. But it's a dude, look at this dude, man. What you got your umbrella? You scared of a little water? Like being prepared is cause for an insult. Pack your lunch. It's like, oh man, this dude done packed his lunch. What you too good to eat what's here? Like, wow. Wow. So you really can't do anything. Go to the doctor. If you go to the doctor, people make fun of you while simultaneously saying black men never go to the doctor. And all black men, myself have heard it from older black men. He didn't get sick till he went to the doctor. And it's like, wow. So but I go to the doctor. Shout out to Dr. Einer. That's my guy. Um, I go to the doctor because no, I'm not. It had been years since I went. When I went, that was like the worst morning of my life because he was like, "It's this, and you're just a little overweight. How do you want to go about this?" He's like, for starters, we got to get your blood pressure down." And he was so nice about it, but when I told my friends, they let me have it. They said, "All right, get it together." Everybody's cracking the jokes and all that. Um, it just goes back to our general unseriousness. Like we can see something crazy happen and laugh. Like uh, you can get online and see some viral video, and I guarantee we are laughing about it, even though in that moment we would be terrified. For example, if you're on a school bus and your bus driver decided to run from the police, We think that's like that's chuckle worthy. We laughing and carrying on. If you was a kid on that bus, you would be you man, you'd be on the phone with your mama, your grandma, your dad, your uncles. Like, please somebody get me off of this thing. But as soon as you safe, it's funny. It is so funny. For example, my grandparents' house burned down in '05, and they didn't die or nothing like that. They house burnt down in '05, and my cousin was in there. And he, of course, he tells us the story of what happened when they went back in to get stuff. He's like, man, grandma just wanted to save everything. Picked up a leather coat. It had soot all over it from the fire. She picked it up, shook it, talking about I can save this. I said, wow. Funny. We laughing. I'm like, dang, that's not funny. This ain't even funny. This isn't funny. But we steady laughing. Or about like what it was like to grow up, growing our childhood from different perspectives, like we just laugh at everything. And I think that for us, for people of color and our generation especially, laughter is our coping mechanism. Our unseriousness is how we get through. Because like bro, if you think about it, let's go back. So 2001, 9/11, right? The world goes crazy. Terrorist attack, just pure nonsense happens. Few years before that, you got Columbine, you got the whole OJ ordeal. Um, yeah. And from '01 to what we say, when did Obama get in office? '08. That was an ordeal. That was a recession. '08 to 2012. Um, Yeah, '08 to 2012 was the first Obama term. That was like a period of like black awakening. Then 12 to 16, more craziness. Um, and then what Donald Trump's first term in office. Uh yeah, and that in itself was crazy because for the first time we saw some stuff as in America that we didn't pay attention to because I feel like we were kids when it happened. Um, for me, I felt like that was the first time a lot of people figured out they was poor. Like they really didn't think they were as bad off as they was until the economy started shaking up like it did. And that was just like, but for people of color, middle class, upper lower middle class people, we just kind of we accustomed to the struggle. And we make the struggle look good. Like we exhibit great community while being terrible people in our community, which I think is funny in itself, which goes back to the unseriousness. So we will get together and throw an event just to not get along at the event. Why did we replace collaboration with competition? Don't get me wrong, competition is good. It can push a product to the next level. Competition can, you know. Uh Restaurants, for example, everybody pretty much sells the same thing. They sell burgers and fries, right? Somebody's claim to fame is a steak burger, somebody's claim to fame is a smash burger, whatever. It's still a burger. But for some reason, small businesses, people of color, we don't embrace competition. We will work together just to not like each other. I don't get it. But it's funny to me because like everybody will start the same business and then get mad when it doesn't do or the person that did it originally theirs works. So then they get mad and they're like, "Oh, well, I just feel like the city supports who's popular." It's like first off, so like maybe 250,000 people in the city. We got enough barbershops. We got enough, whatever you think of. We got that. We don't have enough people to justify the need for another one. So it's not that you can't cut hair. It's not that you can't do hair. It's not that you can't sell stuff. It's there's too many of y'all in a small space trying to do one thing. That's where collaboration will come into play because we can work together, pool our resources. In Ohio and every like other parts of the country, there are basically strip malls, strip mall style buildings that have um, rooms, or they're like rooms, but they're booths for hairstylists, lashes, barbers, tattoo artists, and they all in one building. But because they're all collaborating, sharing a space, these things are possible. And I encourage all business owners to look into that, because it's like, why stress? Why struggle? Why worry about the unnecessary when you can rent this space for, hours, days, weeks, whatever. You rent this space, and then when you need to step away, you're not bound to a brick and mortar lease, because it's just a space. You're done. You got the use out of it, and you created enough of a following that your customers gonna go with you. That's the power of social media. But in our unserious nature, we get on social media and argue and fight and ridicule and screenshot everything and post the conversation. We hated the birthday cake, but we paid for the birthday cake. Or small businesses, y'all have really got to tighten up. If I order a cake a month in advance, there's no reason for my cake to not be done on time. The same with clothes. Like prom season just passed. It was a lot of a fiasco about that. And I understand it, because it's like, hey, people are spending their money that they work for, and y'all are playing in their faces. Shouts out to the legit businesses though. Like y'all do, people that do good work tend to succeed. People that do shady stuff tend to stay in the mix in the wrong way. Um, your brand is a representation of you. And if you don't want it to be attached to anything unserious, or, negative, or something that's unhealthy for your brand, think about that. Like, think about being serious just a little bit. I'm not saying we can't have fun, but just let's increase the seriousness about serious things while still being able to enjoy ourselves doing it. If it's something you enjoy doing, it's not gonna feel like work. Uh, But if it's something you want to be good at, you're going to have to work at it until it gets to a point where you can enjoy the benefits from it. And that's just my personal opinion. Um, and I think that our preferences and perspectives drive a lot of that. Um, that's why it's hard to shop with friends sometimes, because you figure, I'm your friend. I've been here since you was doing this in that back room. Now that you're in the store, I gotta pay full price. Well, as a friend, I should pay more than full price, because guess what? I've been there since the beginning, so I seen what you came from. I seen what you went through, so I should pay more than full price to show my support and love and encouragement for you, not the other way around. That's the thing we gotta stop doing. Like, and I know I'm just kind of rambling here, but whatever. I'm gonna get uh, a co-host here soon. I want to get my setup together. Um, I really ain't got too much else to talk about. I really just wanted to kind of shoot the stuff tonight, between these games. Just kind of tap in, stay locked in. I appreciate y'all, everybody who followed me. Be sure to follow the YouTube and Instagram, Facebook, all of that. It's all thoughts, no thirst, and just keep rocking with me. I think the next episode will be more thought provoking, equally silly. And if you go into a funeral or a wedding, don't laugh during, laugh after, and don't save people's names in your phone under disturbing things like choose weird, because people will remember you for the craziest things. And then it's funny because now nobody knows why somebody just blurted out, "Oh, hey, somebody calling you. Who? Oh, it says missing tooth." Wow, wow. See what I mean? That's not cool. It's funny, but it's not cool. Or little ponytail, or begging, always needing. Like, let's break the stereotypes and keep having some fun. Y'all have a good night. God bless.